Okay, cool. Welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you to this frosty, iridescent, white, silver, whatever look. This is actually part of a kind of series I'm doing that is coming out, sort of, I don't know, whatever, but a kind of series of rainbow monotone looks. So yeah, this is the first iridescent white themed look, whatever you want to call it. And I just wanted to start off 17 with some different videos and looks and stuff.
And I'm also trying this all out in voiceover, so yeah, let's get into it.
I'm starting off by priming. I've only been priming kind of the area around my mouth because that's been creasing for whatever reason, who knows. And then I'm just jumping into gluing down my eyebrows. I am just applying a thin layer of purple Elmer's glue stick. You can use whatever. I did this because I knew I wanted to paint over my eyebrows later, and I knew it would be easier to paint over a smoother surface and coat every individual hair because that's just a mess. I also wanted to keep the hair texture, so that's why I'm only doing one thin coat just to kind of hold the hairs down. And yeah, then I'm moving into foundation. These are by Mayron. They are theatrical cream foundations, and I'm just, highlight, contour, all that stuff, blending and the things. This is what I use for more theatrical, draggy looks, whatever. So basically just not my everyday foundation, which is what I want for when I'm trying to do more of a look rather than like I need to go to the store. So yeah, just blending that out and then powdering it with translucent powder. I'm also going to leave translucent powder and kind of bake the highlights of my face, which is also going to catch any potential fallout and make these highlights pop out more. So now I'm just going into this little NYX trio of shadows, and I'm just taking a silver shade and laying out this crease with a smaller brush and blending it out with a fluffy brush. And I'm just kind of building up the depth with some different silvers. Like this is a gunmetal that I made. And yeah, I'm just deepening up this crease and this eye as I see fit, and blending out and stuff. I mean, I guess you can see what I'm doing. I haven't done this in a long time, so like, how have you guys been? Like, videos, stuff and things. Alright, so now I'm taking the ColourPop liner in Crybaby, which is a light, almost white, lavender type of shade, and I took this on the inner third of the waterline, and then I grabbed the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Potted Pans, which is a silver, and I lined the rest of the waterline with that, kind of smudging it out onto the actual lower lash line, just applying a silver base so I can then foil this shadow that I made. It is a silver, slightly iridescent, even though the iridescence is not really reading on camera, but what's new. And I put that on the whole lid, and now I'm highlighting the inner corner with a duochrome highlighter shade that I made called Mystifying. Now I'm taking the ColourPop shadow in Liberty, and I'm using this to add some intense silver hints here and there and really add these very strong silver highlights because it's super metallic when applied heavily. So I took this into the inner corner and I pulled it up, and I'm taking it into the kind of center of the lid and pulling it up into these points because I've just been really into that vibe lately. I think it looks really cool of having these very strong highlights in the center of the eye that kind of pull up into the crease and out of the lid. Really into that look, and I've been like drawing a lot of that lately, so I figured let's apply that to my actual face. Now I'm taking some iridescent glitters from TKB Trading, and I'm applying them in kind of strategic areas on the eye. So I took one into the center, a different color onto the outer sides, like in different places. So the color shifts would pick up in different parts of the eyelid. So yeah, and then I went over that with the NYX Glitter in Ice, which is just your true green iridescent type of fine glitter, just to add some extra iridescence to the whole thing. Now I'm adding a white floating liner, half liner, whatever you want to call it, inspired by working with monolids on Instagram, and I'm using a white liquid lipstick to do that. So I'm just pulling out like I would do a normal winged liner, but I'm not going to connect it to the actual like lash line, I guess you would say. I'm stopping about where it meets the crease and blending that out. And then if I need any help to blend that into the rest of the eyeshadow and what's already going on there, I'm just using the same silver shadows that were left on the brush just to make sure that that white fades into the eye. So it just looks like, oh, this white wing came out of nowhere, and it's, it's just here and it's having a good time. So then I dusted off any glitter, etc. that fell off into that fallout powder and just getting rid of this excess white powder. And then I am contouring my face with the NYX blush in taupe just to carve it out. And then I'm heavily highlighting with that same duochrome highlighter eyeshadow that I made called Mystifying. It has a bunch of different colors. It kind of comes across as this frosty, silvery, slightly minty shadow. There's like all sorts of stuff happening there. But I'm heavily highlighting my face kind of all over all of your highlight areas. Then I'm going back into the ColourPop shadow in Liberty, and I am running this through the brows and really working that into these glued down hairs. I wanted the texture of an eyebrow, but the ease of, you know, painting over a glued down surface. So I'm just really running that through and making sure I get that as silver as I want, pulling it up and down a little bit in the front center of the brow, whatever you want to call that. Because I want to glue some stuff onto it later. Again, using that same iridescent duochrome shadow to really heavily highlight the brow bone, almost so the highlight fades into the silver of the eyebrow and it's just a very strong metallic finish there, because that's what I wanted to go for. Then I grabbed the Beauty Bakery Lip Whip in Fortune Cookie and I put that on my lip, as you know you do. And I took that same highlight shade again and went over the lip, concentrating in the center of the bottom lip and the whole kind of top of the upper lip, if that makes any sense. I'm sure you can see in the video. I also pulled it really strongly up onto the Cupid's bow because I wanted the lip to fade into this metallic highlight situation. Then I sprayed down my face with a bunch of setting spray and I moved on to gluing on this iridescent film. This is just iridescent kind of crinkle film shredded. I don't even know what. It's for like packages and like presents, stuff and things. So I'm just ripping it up into smaller pieces so I can glue it onto the front of my eyebrow towards the center of my face to catch more light and have an additional texture and color element to this iridescent look. So I'm just using Clown White to kind of glue and adhere this down because it's quite sticky. I also found it was working a lot better than trying to use a glue stick, and I didn't want to try to use a lash glue or something like that because trying to get that out of an eyebrow, even though it was glued down lightly, is like not fun, so I didn't want to do that. And this actually worked perfect for what I was going for, and it added a little bit of additional highlight behind the iridescent film, and it's as simple as that. So here we are at the final look of this frosty iridescent, I'm not even sure what, like frostbitten. Brr, I'm so cold. Look. I'm just gonna keep saying look over and over again until you hate it. I already hate it, you're welcome.
I haven't done videos in so long, like this is so weird. Ooh, can you tell that I set up some new lighting situations? Wow, I'm really just feeling myself and playing with these different lights.
It me. That feeling when you're really just trying to catch your highlight, that's where I'm at.
Look forward to the rest of these looks. They should be coming out very shortly. I might trash because the main reason I wanted to do all of these different colored looks is because I thought it would look really cool lined up on my Instagram.
We come in peace. Subscribe for new videos whenever that happens. Social media crap in the description. Okay, bye.
Also, don't mind all of the shameless self-promotion of my own made eyeshadows, but I'm actually going to try to make and sell some in the near future. So I thought it would make sense to start actually talking about the makeup that I've made and use in these videos and stuff. So yeah, I will link the Instagram for that below, I guess. Ooh, talking about myself is weird. Okay, bye.